the horse is trying to decide if she's going to stay or leave. So they'll decide if they're going to stay or they're going to decide if they're going to leave. Sometimes it's real quick to know.
Getting a chance, getting her to bend to him a little bit. Nice pushing those hindquarters, letting her feel him, knows he's there. Her first instinct when he introduced the saddle was to run from the saddle, and so he's doing this, and I mean he has really made some vast improvements and helped this colt to where she knows that that saddle is not a booger. Chance there in number 2, jumping up and kind of laying over, getting her used to the weight. And notice Avi's got that lariat up there around the horse's ears. This was her boogering spot, but she didn't really like that. And I mean, she is taking it well this morning. Now you notice that Chance brings out the pad and the saddle. Lets her see him, smell him. He's asking her to move forward towards him and around him. We are 15 minutes in, 15 minutes in. Again, if you're just joining us right here behind where I'm sitting, we've got our table set up. You can get your buyer numbers and registered for the auction. Anything you might spend here is tax deductible, and going to the WRCA Foundation helps with scholarships and Cowboy Crisis Fund. The other half, what they raise, will go to the WRRR Reins Riders Foundation, and they have numerous charities in the, look here with Avi. Avi's getting her to give those feet, and again, those are the horse's weapons. So she'll pick it up, let her pick it up like that. She'll give it right back to her, letting her know that it's yours. I'm not trying to take it from you. I just want you to know that I can touch you there and you don't have to panic. Works for the farrier, helps them out a lot. Chance has the not forcing her. Subtle hints as to what he's expecting. Dusty takes the rein here and wants her head to give and come back around that way, and she did that very nice. She's loosened up, soft and supple. Again, Dusty getting up in the stirrup and pulling her head around there, but he leans out over her so she can see out of that right eye as well. Lets him know and lets her know that he's there. Dusty is looking for the smooth transitions from her. Picks up the pace a little bit. He works her up to that point, and then he'll work her back down from that point. Boy, that was nice right there. And they want the smoothness in every transition. Swapping and going different direction, and he'll do the same thing that he did just a minute ago. It's just in a new direction, so it's something new to the colt. While she's moving out, he is praising her by patting her on the neck and the hip. Very nice. Chance. Incorporating all of this together. Now on Thursday, Chance used just the cinches after the first session. He put the saddle pad on, used the cinches and worked her with that. Got her used to feeling them and not being afraid of them, because she was wanting to leave out from underneath that saddle when he first brought it in. Then he used the saddle, no pad at first, no cinch, and just kind of walked her around, held on to it so it wasn't going to flop around on her, but still got her used to the feel of it. She did take the saddle very good. We talked Thursday about this kind of being a puzzle, and it's up to each individual trainer to figure out where the pieces of the puzzle go. And they all have done very, very well with putting the puzzle together. Chance just kind of easing those up there. I'll be going to introduce again the board and the pole for the timber in there. And this is where she left off yesterday, bringing this colt across the board both ways. Yesterday, a lot of hesitation, and now she's just trusting Avi and walking through it. Now Avi wants her to go the other way through it. And again, when you switch the directions, it is something new on the colt. Dusty down there introducing the rope again to her. He used the reins a little bit, spinning them around and kind of letting that rein go out across her head and nose, and letting her know that it's okay. So now he's got the lariat in there. Big, big steps down here with Avi. Right where she left off. On Thursday, I don't think she could get within an arm's reach of that little filly. So this is big down here in pen number 1. And her horse, it's just like working with a child. You got to help them think and figure out which way they need to go, which way you want them to go. And they, like we said, natural instinct is to give, is to make you happy. And they want to do what you want to do. Now, Avi's going to bring in the tar. New obstacle that this particular filly has not seen. We are about 19 minutes into the session. Now, you notice Avi doesn't try to push her to it. She just lets her do her thing and kind of letting her get comfortable. Letting her know that there's not any rattlesnakes or boogers underneath that tar. Dusty down there dragging the rope behind her. Chance really getting her to bend and get the feel for that saddle again. You notice he didn't cinch it right up. He just kind of wiggling on her and letting her know. And this is where he was leaving off yesterday. Mr. Brent explained to us that it's not about this session. It's about taking them to and getting ready for the next steps. Now looky here. Building confidence, and that little filly down here with Avi is walking over the tar. And again, that's a lot of trust between that filly and Avi. Now you'll notice that Avi brought that tarp together, and she's made it the same tool but a different obstacle by spreading it out a little bit further. Now she's going to take it lengthwise. And again, this filly has really started trusting her. Dusty going to be riding outside the round pen. Now again, same tarp, nothing different about it. It's just a new because it's lengthwise. She's looking at Avi like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. Paw in a little bit, see, it's spooked her. That little bugger underneath there, the gremlin jumped up. Now the filly already knows this direction. Avi's letting her figure it out and kind of going to go with her. And again, it's about that give and take. You go with the horse a little bit, the horse will go with you a little bit. Look at there. Nice. Chance working with that breast collar on the front of the horse. See how loose Dusty is? I mean, he is just kind of relaxed, moving with that horse. Wants to get a little more, but instead of using the feet, he's actually going to work with those hands and back there. And now stops in a good place and gets her to bend. And like I said earlier this morning, none of these contestants have been with these horses since yesterday afternoon. But like Brent said, they're taking them to a place to move on to today is where they left off. And I'm telling you what, it's amazing. speed a little bit. Something new in the bigger pen. Chance's little filly is taking these cinches and saddle, or the cinches and the breast collar and saddle very, very well. Dusty brings her to a point and turns her back the other way, and again, showing her something new. Dusty coming to parts of the obstacle, the railroad ties, and kind of set that up with the little 4x4 in the pen with them. We do want to remind everybody that after this session is up, we'll take a short pause for lunch, and we will come back at 1 o'clock sharp. 1 o'clock sharp with the competition, and then followed shortly thereafter with the auction. They are down here. Get your information for a buyer number, pick up your number, and like I said, guys, it's tax deductible, and you're helping two great organizations, the WRCA and of course the Will Rogers Reins Riders Foundation. And if you're not familiar with the WRCA Foundation, they've got scholarships that they give out to our youth that are involved in the ranching communities. And I talked with Casey yesterday from the WRCA, and it's not, they're the future. They're not just the future of ranching, but they're the future of our nation. And they give out scholarships in California, Washington, all over the United States. They also help with the Cowboy Crisis Fund. If they get injured sometime, then the guys can reach down and get help from the WRCA. Now, we got that colt working over the little 4x4, and you see Chance. Huge improvement from yesterday with that saddle. She's not trying to get out from underneath it. And he works to get her out of trouble before she gets herself into trouble. When he steps out there and moves her a different way, he's seeing something and wants to get her out of that bad spot into a good place. They're getting a little tight. You want to give those hindquarters so you get them back up there where you can get them to give you something productive. And I'm gonna tell you that little filly there in pin number 2 is Caddy. She has got a good eye. I want you to look here. Pin number 1. Dusty is opening the gate off of his filly down here on the east end, going out of the pen and then right back into the pen with her. Avi, the other day, if she'd have just kind of flipped that rope at that colt, we'd have had it come apart. Now she's taking it. Again, Chance just getting her to something new, a new point where he can, you see now that lead rope is just hanging. He's not putting any pressure on it. She's moving forward. That's positive. Dusty came down, like we said, going in and out of this gate, and that's a whole new environment outside of the gate because it's wide open, and that colt could have done any number of things, but she decided to stay with him, and he was able to open the gate out and open the gate back in. Chance wanted her to kind of just move out at a comfortable pace. So she stops, so he kind of steps back around her to get her to go. And again, he's kind of letting her have that with the lead rope. Then he'll work her to that point where he'll get her to go both ways. And Dusty's got the log. We all know dragging a log helps these animals get ready to go to work for a job on the ranch, because you never know what you're going to have to do. Terry Rich was telling me the other night that they were doing ranch rodeos here, and they had a team from Canada call. And he said, I got to admit, he said, I was a little bit skeptic. And he said they could tell it. And he said, Mr. Rich, he said, I want to tell you that we're the real deal up here. Terry said, well, I believe you. And he said, no. He said, I want you to ask your ranch cowboys down in Texas how many of them have ever roped a bear. Because we do that every day up here, place them in a cage and take them back to their natural habitat. So Terry said they were more than qualified to come to their ranch rodeo. All right, we got about 30 minutes left. Now again, I'll be standing right next to the colt. I'll be loving on it, pushing on it a little bit, letting it know that everything's good. Wants that horse to kind of still a little tense, so she's trying to get it to be supple, bend. But here. This is also letting that colt know that those feet don't have to be stationary, they can move. Dusty's got her back and opening gates. And he prays her, gets her back as many steps as he wanted, and then lets her have it back. Now, Avi's little filly, you can tell she's loosening up a little bit. Chance getting his supple, soft, showing her that saddle's not going to hurt her. Chance laying across that saddle a little bit, patting her on that outside. Simulating that stirrup leather, how they move, let her know. Bobby being able to bounce up and down, and again, that giving that colt the view that she would have if Bobby was up higher in the saddle. A chance getting her to soften up just a little bit more, because she noticed that she was kind of a little bit getting away from things. He's just showing her that everything's okay. Now Bobby jumping up and putting the weight on the little filly. She is taking it very, very well right now. Dusty going to untack, and you notice that Chance's horse kind of moving towards him a little bit. He just held up that hand and she backed up. You don't got to yell at him. You don't got to hoorah him. They want to please. It's their natural instinct to please you. I'll be up on the fence, getting a different perspective, giving the colt a different perspective, kind of letting her think about everything we've done this morning. Colt just standing there relaxed, licking his lips. Dusty's little filly down there, completely comfortable. Chance has got that longer lead rope on now. He's going to incorporate the flag to get her to move out a little bit. He's got the short halter tied up around the neck, kind of like the reins would be. She is loose and moving out very well. Chance introducing something new, but bringing her back around the other way. Now Hobby is introducing something completely new, which is the saddle pass. Gonna kind of rub her down with it, let her feel. Just put that on there yesterday. Dusty got a productive short ride out of her, and just kind of letting his horse take a little bit of a break. guys and gals don't have to use every minute of that hour. I mean, they get to a good stopping point and they realize that, and the horse has done what they've asked and what's best for the horse, and so that's where Dusty is with his. And Bobby's little filly doing well. You'll notice that Chance got her stopped and she immediately turned and looked right to him. Again, you notice that when she started to kind of take off on him, he just made one small step and she stopped. Minutes. We got 20 minutes left. That's our entertainment for tonight, doing their sound checks, and that throws a whole new curveball in on our trainers. We have thrown a lot of different things at these colts. And the last couple of days, and that's just the next step is getting them used to that. Okay, now I'll be introducing the saddle. Dusty down there getting that horse to give her feet freely, real soft. Dusty wasn't having to hold that up. The horse was holding it up. Now, Chance in the middle. See him putting the weight in the saddle, kind of putting a little bit of pressure like he's sitting in that saddle. And there he goes. He's asking her to give the hindquarters, and she is doing what he's asking, turning the motor off. She stayed very, very calm through that. Again, I'll be not just throwing that saddle up there. None of them have done that. They just kind of introduce it slowly, letting them know that there's nothing to be afraid of in that saddle. Chance asked again for a few steps with the hindquarters, and the horse gave what he was asking for, stayed calm, so he got back down. Now this, again, we want to reiterate the fact that this is not ranch bronc riding, so it's about getting that horse to a good, solid, safe ride for the individuals. Getting them ready to move to that next step. got about 15 minutes left. Chance's horse is about to get tangled in the rope, but he's managed to pull her around, and again she's bending and giving what he's asking without trying to run out from underneath that saddle or out from underneath that rope. Chance is taking his cinches and undoing those. Now Avi's got that lead rope, and again it's getting that filly used to where those cinches are going to be on that belly. She's comfortable standing right there, feeling that rope. Avi did not push it with the saddle. I said it yesterday morning, you know, these individuals are here and kind of showcasing their skills, but they're also applying for jobs. You know, if you like what you see, you've got some colts. They do take the outside horses and are ready to work with them. And as we've seen all week, they have accepted the Coolhorse Colt starting challenge. They've done very, very well. Dusty completely untacked. Now, Chance has done the same thing. He came to a good point. He felt like now I'll be bringing the flag in. I'm going to get this little filly to move out a little bit. Chance's little filly, very relaxed and comfortable. Now Avi is going to bring this filly outside of the round pen, and then other from going back and forth to the pins in the back. This is the first time that this one's been inside the big arena. Trying to get her to move out, be smooth, loosen up with the feet. We'll say this, she's got this filly turned into a different horse than it was when we first started. Never seen that barrel, but she brought her right around the head because there's that trust. She used the smaller poles and she also used the tarp. Now she's going to go to the railroad ties, and I mean, horse feet were working right, didn't lock up, didn't balk.
There's 11 minutes left. I just want to talk about my filly a little bit, I guess. She's got a lot of athletic ability to her, stuff like that. I just, there was a point of me that wanted to get on her and move her out, but she's a little bit skittish about her right side, so I wanted to get on her and move her around, but I just felt that maybe it wasn't the right thing to do just yet. I'd like to mess with her probably for another week or two and work on that a little bit more and just get her confidence on that right side a little bit. I just didn't feel like I had the confidence that to completely ride her at this point. So that's the reason I'm kind of quitting where I've quit. So thank y'all. It's about trying to do the right thing for the horse. What's going to help this horse in its future? What's going to help it become a better working horse? Trying to figure out how to make the right decisions for him is really hard, especially whenever we put a little bit of pressure on ourselves. So hats off to all 6 of y'all. Really good job, guys.
Got about 8 minutes left. You watched Avi walk this filly around the barrel, over the railroad ties, down through the poles. Don't forget, if you're interested in the purchase of one of these fillies, come down here right behind me and get registered, get your buyer's number. We will start with the finals at 1 o'clock sharp. 1 o'clock sharp, we'll start with the finals. Auction immediately following. So you'll want to make sure you're here for that. And we will take a short pause here in just a few minutes. And we have had a question. Somebody asked if they could purchase one of these colts, donate it back and sell it again. And yes, that is possible. We can take care of it. Kind of like Burger King, have it your way. Yep, it's raising money for the foundations. The bonus is getting to take the horse home. All right, we're about 6 minutes left now. 6 minutes left. You see Avi asking for those legs again.
I'll leave them up there.
Asking for the feet. Now, 3 minutes. probably feels like she's found a good place. Notice how she brought that hand in from the eyes there. Let her see it. She's not reaching up real fast, any sudden movement. It's all predetermined what she wants to do. She's decided in her head what's best with this little filly, and doing very, very well. One minute left. 1 minute left. I'll be getting her to move and bend that nose to her. Huge, huge steps. Relaxed, feeling good, getting a good roll down here on the pins 2 and 3. And that is time. Time is now. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for these 3 individuals and let them know. Outstanding job by all 6 of our contestants. And we're going to take a short break. It's now 12:06. We will start the competition at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. And the auction will immediately follow. So concession stands, food trucks, they're open. Get you something good to eat, cold to drink. Also, you can get registered as buyers right down here behind where I'm sitting at the table. Pick up your bidder number. Thank you guys. Thanks to Coolhorse. And better call Scott Cove.